Welcome. Thanks for joining. Welcome to Tuesday Talks with Annielove. In this episode, we are going to be talking about something. Everything is near and dear to my heart, so this is really near and dear to my heart. It's heaven on earth. Right, you heard me. Heaven on earth. How do we bring heaven to earth, right? It's very tricky. It's constantly looking at the thoughts that are going on in our mind, right? I don't know what the statistics are. I've heard that they're that we think 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day, and I think the statistics are that 90% of those thoughts are the same thoughts that we thought yesterday. Wow. So, how do we change that? How do we change the dialogue that's going on in our mind? How do we reprogram ourselves, right? Our default is obviously those thoughts that are in our mind that we've been thinking over and over and over again. How do we get to a place where we can now change the tape that's going on in our mind? Well, it's being consistent. It's tenacity. It's perseverance. It's patience. All of these qualities are essential when you're diving into this, and we have to use our allowing muscle, right? We have to surrender. Because how do you stop all of those thoughts that we've been thinking for eons, decades, whatever it's been for you? How do we change them? How do we reprogram them? So, right now, your experience is one where you are experiencing pain and suffering. That's the human condition. And heaven, okay, so that's the earthly condition, right? And heaven, there is no pain and suffering. There's only joy and happiness and peace. So how do we experience that, right? So I'm going to give you what I was given. I don't know who gave it to me. The being shall remain nameless because I don't have a name, but I can tell you that I had an experience where my handbag was stolen out of my car, and when I discovered what had happened, I went into all of this, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to cancel all my credit cards, I'm going to have to, whatever, go to the drugstore, buy whatever, replace whatever was in there, etc., get a new driver's license. I mean, your mind goes into this, downward spiral, and all of a sudden the voice said to me, I want you to look at your left hand, and I want you to put peace and happiness in your left hand. I want you to look at your right hand and put pain and suffering in the right hand. And then the voice said to me, you get to choose. Do you want peace and happiness? Or do you want pain and suffering? Well, the choice was really easy, right? Who doesn't want peace and happiness? Right? If we really honestly ask, put our hands on our heart and ask, do I want peace and happiness or pain and suffering? The choice is really simple. So I said peace and happiness, and in a matter of 3 minutes, I had canceled my credit cards, and I was just like, I was in this place of, oh my goodness. So that's how we bring heaven on earth, in situations where, like, we get to choose how we want to experience every situation, everything that's presented to us, right? It's how we perceive it. How we perceive it. If we perceive it as completely neutral, oh my goodness, that's where our peace resides, right there, right? Our joy, our happiness is in just being at peace and not allowing ourselves to go to DEFCON 4 or whatever that term is, right? And I know sometimes that because we've been so conditioned, it's hard to switch out of that. What I have done is I really try to remind myself as often as I possibly can that I am love. For me, that's why I gave myself the moniker annielove. Although I do have to confess, my daddy used to call me annielove. So it does have a special place in my heart. But I also, like, when I just say annielove, it reminds me that I am love, right? And it reminds me to respond with love, to be the demonstration of love. And if you're love, you cannot experience fear in that moment when you know your truth. And that is your truth. It's not just my truth. It's everyone's truth. Every being on this planet is love. And yeah, and when we remind ourselves that that is our truth, our experience here can be heaven on earth. You know, the Beatles song, All You Need Is Love. Well, I changed the words. I sing, all I am is love. All you are is love. We, in truth, don't need love because we are love. Do we want to experience love? Absolutely. But we honestly don't need it. We are everything. We have everything. You are omniscient, you are omnipotent, and you are omnipresent. And that's where we're headed. That's where we're headed. To bringing heaven on earth. Imagine heaven on earth. Yes. Wow. It brings a smile to my face, to my heart, and I hope it does the same for you. So let's join together, mighty companions, and bring heaven to earth, sending countless blessings and infinite joy. Peace.